All right, welcome to today's explainer. So I want you to imagine waking up every single day in a world where skyscrapers are basically treated like dominoes. And your daily weather forecast? Yeah, it includes a super high probability of massive city-crushing titans. Sounds insane, right? Well, that's the brutal, everyday reality for the Japan Anti-Kaiju Defense Force. Today, we're tearing right into the highest echelons of power in this universe. We're going to uncover the absolute most terrifying threats humanity faces and honestly, this is the craziest part. We're going to look at the unbelievable lengths they go to just to fight back. Which brings us to the ultimate, truly terrifying question that the Defense Force has to face with their lives on the line every single day. How exactly do you kill a god-level monster? When your conventional weaponry is essentially just throwing pebbles at a mountain, what on earth is humanity's counterattack? The answer is, well, it's as brilliant as it is incredibly dark. You wear it. Yep. That's the dark irony sitting right at the core of the entire series. Humanity's absolute greatest hope for survival doesn't come from giant mechs or, nuclear warheads. It comes from butchering the corpses of their greatest nightmares and weaponizing the remains. To fight the monsters, humanity literally has to put on the monster's skin.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll look at the Daikaiju threat. Second, forging the numbers weapons. Third, Gen Narumi's future sight. Fourth, the creations of number 9, and finally, number 5, the true Kaiju King.
Okay, moving right into Section 1, the Daikaiju threat, understanding the monsters. So before we can even talk about the weapons themselves, we really need to understand the monsters they're made from. Like, how does the Defense Force actually classify a walking nightmare? Let's break down this fortitude system, which is basically our ultimate power-scaling measuring stick here. In this universe, hitting a fortitude level of 8.0 means a kaiju is no longer just a big monster, it's a Daikaiju. We're talking an unprecedented walking natural disaster that requires an elite, totally coordinated response from the absolute strongest officers just to survive. They're so overwhelmingly powerful and have such unique, devastating traits that they get numbered code names. Number 1, number 2, you get the idea. It just makes them easier to study, to fear, and, hopefully, to defeat. Let's move right along to Section 2, forging the numbers weapons, humanity's countermeasure. So when one of these numbered Daikaiju is finally brought down, the story doesn't just end there. Their remains get forged into highly specialized combat suits. As you can see, the original Kaiju's defining trait becomes the weapon's ultimate power. Weapon 4 gives Kikoro Shinomiya high-speed flight. Weapon 2 gave Director General Isao Shinomiya these absolutely devastating sonic and energy blasts. And then, oh man, check out Weapon 10 at the bottom. It was forged from a kaiju that actually kept its sentience, giving Vice Captain Soshiro Hoshina a weapon that literally talks to him and just loves to fight. Tying a soldier's soul to the powers of these beasts, it's incredibly dangerous but totally necessary. But then, you have weapons forged from monsters of an almost incomprehensible scale. 9.6, that was the fortitude level of Kaiju number 6, known as the King of Kaiju. Basically, this universe's version of Godzilla. This thing had the power to manipulate the weather, causing giant snowstorms. For 10 solid years, its remains just sat unused in cold storage because literally no human was compatible with its overwhelming power. That is, until Reno Ichikawa came along. Even when he's using just 51% of the suit's total potential, Reno can instantly freeze almost any opponent on the battlefield. It's wild.
Which brings us to Section 3, Gen Narumi's future sight, the apex combatant.
Now, if these weapons require elite wielders, who's the best of the best? Let's talk about Captain Gen Narumi's absolutely incredible power set. Narumi wields Weapon 1, the oldest numbers weapon, crafted from the very first identified kaiju. Now, Narumi is unique because he can unleash a staggering 98% of his combat suit's power. But his true strength? That lies in RT-001 spectacles, literally grafted from Kaiju number 1's retinas. It starts by letting him visualize brain signals and micro-muscle movements. But as it evolved, Narumi gained the ability to perceive electron movements, temperature fluctuations, and even terrain shifts. He isn't just reacting. He's calculating every single variable to achieve literal future sight. He knows your attack before you've even fully decided to make it. And this actually brings up a massive debate that's raging within the fan community right now. Who wins in a fight, Gen Narumi or Soshiro Hoshina? Think about it. Narumi has future sight and is a master of both long and short-range combat with his giant bayonet. Meanwhile, Hoshina has zero long-range capability, but his close-quarter speed is totally unmatched, and it's bolstered by the sheer bloodlust of the sentient weapon 10. The community consensus is super fascinating here. Narumi is generally seen as the superior all-around soldier, sure, but if Hoshina can close the distance and trap Narumi in restricted, pure melee combat, Hoshina's blistering speed might actually outpace Narumi's ability to react, even if Narumi can see the future. How crazy is that?
All right, Section 4. The creations of number 9. The evolving antagonist.
Of course, we know the kaiju aren't just mindless beasts, right? They are evolving. And the most terrifying catalyst for this evolution is Kaiju number 9. This guy is a calculating mastermind who actually absorbed Director General Isao Shinomiya and Weapon number 2 to become the new Kaiju King. But what makes number 9 an absolute nightmare isn't just his own power, it's his ability to manufacture custom daikaiju specifically designed to counter the defense force. Just look at this lineup. Number 10 was a prototype brawler. Number 11 was a hydrokinesis master, designed specifically to fight Narumi. Number 12 had ultimate blade mastery, a direct counter to Hoshina. Number 15, built with psychological manipulation to target and mentally break Kokora Shinomiya. Number 9 is playing a terrifying game of 4D chess, using the memories he absorbed to perfectly counter humanity's greatest heroes.
And finally, Section 5. The True Kaiju King, an unprecedented anomaly.
So, we finally arrive at the climax of our power scale, an anomaly that breaks literally every single rule the Defense Force thought they knew. 9.8. That is the highest fortitude level ever recorded in the history of the series, and it belongs to our protagonist Kafka Hibino in his Kaiju number 8 form. I mean, he's basically the Saitama of the Defense Force. He possesses immense shape-shifting abilities, an energy roar that totally neutralizes enemy attacks, and devastating hand-to-hand combat prowess that can even disrupt a kaiju's ability to heal. He doesn't just overpower daikaiju, he physically shatters their cores with his bare hands.
But here is the chilling reality we are left with. Kafka's power comes from a mysterious, tiny parasite larva that forced itself into his mouth. A creature born from the vengeful spirits of ancient samurai who died fighting kaiju. It has an immeasurable fortitude level of its own, and this deep, incredibly hostile hatred for other monsters. It's said that if Kafka stays in his kaiju form for more than 30 minutes, he could lose his humanity entirely. So, I leave you with this to think about, as the apocalyptic clash between number 8 and number 9 draws closer. What happens to humanity's greatest weapon if the man inside the monster disappears forever?